Alright, Mr. Miyagi style. Hey guys, I haven't talked for a couple days. Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. Hope you guys are doing lots of shopping today. I know. In Canada's Boxing Day, kind of like a Black Friday for Canada. That's what the deals are. Not anymore, really. I'm just going to do this quick. There's a couple of people requesting some things. One is, why am I not shooting more in 4K 60 frames per second? And another person who's asking for me to do a little comparison with the close-up lens with the filter. So I'm gonna do the 4K 60. I'm filming right now in 4K 60. So for the person who's actually was asking for this is in 60. Motion's a little bit better. The reason why, I don't know why, for some weird reason, the 4K 30 HDR on this actually looks slightly better than the 4K 60. Maybe not in the motion, but the picture itself looks better. Probably because of the HDR, obviously, right? Unfortunately, this camera doesn't have HDR past 30 frames per second in 4K. And I've pushed that comment to Insta360. Hopefully, they will open that up in the future for more upgrades. I would love to see a 60 frame or even a 120 in HDR, or give us the option to actually turn HDR off and on as well. So that's one of the things about this camera that are kind of the cons. So maybe we'll see a little bit more control in that in future firmware upgrades. I am hearing through the grapevine there is a big update coming up at the end of this month. Who knows? Crossing my fingers. Maybe they'll fix some issues. I'm talking to the rep about a couple things. One is this focusing thing. The other one is the preset issue that it defaults to the preset if you change modes. And also the HDR setting as well. These aren't huge problems. They're not big problems. I keep seeing on, I don't know, these people are just, I guess this is the way to get viewers in, to look at the, big words on their cover saying, hey, big problem or critical issue, or these are not big problems. If you look at a video, they're not big problems. They're just more personal preference than anything. Anyways, I think we're being a little dramatic with some of these content creators. Let's just get with the program. Let's not just go crazy with this stuff. Anyways, I'll get on with this. I won't make this too long. I'm having my coffee, so yeah, that's the explanation for the 4K 60. It's filming in 60 right now, 60 frames per second, so I'll see if it's any better. I don't know. It should be. The person who was asking about samples in the lens, so right now I'm shooting at, I would say, I got a ruler here, so this is your typical vlogging distance, and I'm about 24 inches, so 2 feet. Okay, you guys do the math for meters or whatever. So this is focused. Okay, when I start with the purpose of these lenses, the close-up lens, is when you get closer to the one thing with this camera with the larger sensor. DJI Action 4 also has this issue. It's not as bad, but you can see it as you get closer to the camera. It starts to go off focus in the face, but the background is still focused. Okay, it's just because the camera has a very long minimum focus range as opposed to the GoPro. GoPro is actually much closer, which is why they are better in a close, in a vlogging type of environment. So somebody came out with the using the close-up diopter lens filter, which is I'm going to go through right here very quickly with you. They'll let you know the differences between the different close-up lenses, and you'll see the focus foreground and background as well with the different lenses. So I'm going to start with the +1. I think for the best vlogging view focus would be a +1, +2, because even at a 2 feet, maybe 1.5 to 2 feet distance to the camera, you're gonna have good focus in the foreground. You're gonna have decent focus in the background, unless you want the bokeh effect. If you want that background to be kind of blurry, then you would want to go higher number. Okay, so how the close-up lens is, as you get higher, it gets more focus closer. Okay, you can focus much closer to the camera, but you're gonna start losing background focus. It'll start to blur out, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So we're gonna start off with the I've got my lenses here. So look at that, look at that. All right, pocket lens. So these are the ones that I made. These are now in these little adapters, and they're marked +1. So I'm gonna drop the +1 in, and +1 you'll see. Just bear with me here. I don't have this in a very good. There we go. All right. So this is the +1 lens. You're not gonna see a huge amount of difference. You're gonna see a little bit better focus in the foreground. Still good focus in the background. You can see the little eye chart in the back. So that'll give you an idea of the lenses. So I'm going to stay at this distance. So this is going to be about 1.5 feet, okay, distance. 2 feet will be back here, so this is focus. I want to be off focus when I try these lenses out, so then you know what this lens does, okay? And you just keep an eye on the chart at the back, or look at the background details. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the +2 lens. So this is coming out. So now I'm popping in the +2 lens. Okay. So you're starting to see a little bit better focus in the foreground at the same distance, but look at the back. It's starting to blur a little bit now. Okay. So you're going to get, with these lenses, as you get the numbers, if you're not familiar with close-up or diopters, as you get closer, they're kind of like macro lenses. Not really. It's not really like up close, but they act like it. So the closer you get, the more focus it is, but the background starts to go off focus. So that's how this works. So on a +2, you'll see more focus, better focus in the foreground, less focus in the background. You see that chart. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna drop a +4 in here. Now +4 is what the original design, the person who did this, which is I think Make Art Now. He was the one that did the 72. You saw my video on the 72. So I'm going to drop the +4. He was the one that started with the +4. But then I looked at the +2 and the +1. I really like it for that average distance. You get that kind of focus in the front as well as the back, so you don't lose everything, right? I like focus everywhere. I don't like the bokeh back, right? So I'm at 1.5 feet. So you'll notice that I'm very focused here. But look at the background. It's starting to get blurry and blurry and blurry. Right? You can barely make out things in the background. But as I get closer, look how focused my face is. I can even see it on the screen that I am very focused, right? Okay, so this is the +4. Okay, so the next step up in the ring, there's +8, I think, +6 as well. But those increments are really, honestly, if you're using it for vlogging, it's 1 to 4. Okay, +10 you would never use unless you're doing macro shooting. So my +10 here is this guy, and the lens is quite thick, and it's basically like a magnifying glass. Okay, so you'll see when I put this on. Now everything is off focus, right? So watch. So I'm at the same distance I was, but look at my face, it's off focus. Technically I should be in focus, but no, because this is a +10. It's a huge gap between a +4 and a +10. Okay, so watch as I get closer. Look at the back. It's all blurred out. You can't see anything in the back. Okay, so as I get closer, look how clear I'm getting. Okay, so the +10 has about a, I would say probably about a 5. I'm at what, 5 inch now? 5. Ooh. You don't want to look at me this close, gross. So I'm about 5 inch, about 6 inches right here. Okay, very focused. Can I go closer? Can I get closer? I think that's a little too close. So I'm about 3 inches. So I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys tell me which is better. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm about a foot from the lens. But again, you know what I mean. As you get closer to 10, I don't really like the 10 unless you're doing like really close-up things, like if you're shooting something that, like an item or something like that, up close for selling or that kind of purpose. Yeah, this would be useful because it really focuses on that object and it really blurs out the background. You'll see the back is just completely blurry, right? Okay. But that's what these lenses do. So it's an explanation of what they do. I'm at 9 minutes here, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to try and get it to 10 minutes. I know I've been long-winded, and you guys have been complaining and doing markers and stuff like that. I'll try and do it. I just learned how to do the markers for each segment of video, so I'll try and do that. I'm going to take the lens off so you don't get dizzy and throw up. So anyways, I'm going to try and do that. But yeah, there's a couple things that I'll bring up once I'm done, because once the holiday's over and we're back to normal, Look at what I printed. Look, I'm like a real vlogger now. This is a dual mount. I'm too cheap to buy them, and they're hard to find. So I just actually printed them out, so you can actually put two cameras. So I'll have my So I'll have my Ace Pro here, and I'm gonna have the one I use to shoot with. This is my best camera. It's the DJI A2, and it just snaps on there. So I'll have the Ace Pro here. Okay, so I'm gonna do some comparisons, right, in 4K and 30. I already did some in the DJI's, especially at nighttime. DJI is horrible. Anyways, that's that. And you guys will notice that these things are printed out. Ooh, what are these? So if you're familiar with the lens guard replacement that I've mentioned in my other video, that's coming up. Now, when you order one of those, somebody was asking, when you order one, you do get a wrench with it. Okay, a wrench is to pry that original lens off if it's broken. Guys, I'm going to stress this. It is going to probably void your warranty if you do it before your warranty. If you can, send it in and get it fixed, okay? Because it is free. You just have to pay for shipping. And if you can't do that and you're in an emergency and you have no other option, your screen's broken, then I would exercise that option and exercise it with caution. But just be aware that you're probably going to void your warranty. Now, there are ways to circumvent that. And I've mentioned this to other people before, that if you pop that lens open, and I know it's threaded, if you pop that, it would have to be for Insta360 to offer the free unlimited lens replacement. It's got to be easy to pop right off. There's no way that you would have to do any weird stuff to the chassis or the frame to get that lens off to replace. They would never do it. They would never do it for thousands of people. It just doesn't make sense. It's not beneficial for them. So we know that it is removable. They probably just resined it a little bit, dropped a couple of silicone and sealed it tight, which a wrench is going to pop up. So the wrench that comes with that particular, I've got it coming in. I'm going to do a review on that lens. I'm not going to put it on my camera. I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid to do it, to take off my perfectly fine original lens guard to test out. That's just, it's insane. I'm not an idiot like the other people. Unless you guys want to buy me a camera, I'd be happy to do it for you. But this, I've created a new wrench for this. It is called the Miyagi wrench. If you guys want the STL, the print file for this, it's very easy to print. It takes about an hour to print out. It's a full-blown crank. So if you, I don't know if you can see it close. Ooh, let's use the lens. I'm gonna use a +4 on there so we can get some close-ups of this thing. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the thing. So I don't know if you can see it pretty clearly. I created it so it's actually nice and firm. When you pop it in, fits, and you can just twist it. The other one's like a long thing. I don't like those. They're kind of weird. If you slip, the thing's gonna pop right out. So this gives you a firmer, and it fits right on the camera, and it actually stays on the camera, and you can just turn it easily and pop it right out. So anyways, that's that. Guys, don't get me wrong. I'm just showing you that video is to show you that it is removable. So what you do with that is you're popping that thing at your own risk. There's a risk to doing any DIY lens guards. People don't read the disclaimers for DJI or GoPro. And I had an incident when I was selling a camera with a person with the DJI who actually replaced the lens and didn't screw it on tight enough, and there was a water leak. DJI would not cover their warranty because of that, because it was improperly installed. So doing this voids your warranty. If you have a leak, it doesn't really matter if it's under warranty or if it's a DIY lens cap. If it leaks in, it's your fault. The company will not cover your, they'll give you a discount to repair it, but they won't cover it fully, okay? So just so you know this, I know this because I dealt with a claim like that. And you can't tell me, there is a fine print, there's a disclaimer for any DIY products that you do repairs on your camera. It's that simple. They'd be stupid not to cover themselves for not putting a disclaimer like that on the camera, okay? So just be aware of that. Anyways, I've got it coming in. I'm going to do a review on it. I'm going to check the seal, make sure that everything is cool on it, and the grade of this thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if this company that's selling this lens cap is the exact same company who's supplying Insta360 these things. So, I know Chinese manufacturers. Anyways, guys, Have a great Boxing Day. Have a great holiday. I'm gonna make this 15 minutes. Yes, it's a record. Anyways, ciao, peace, respect, adios.